Benny was a bunny. Benny lived in a burrow. It was a cozy burrow. Benny loved carrots. Benny ate carrots every day. He ate them for breakfast. He ate them for lunch. He even ate them for dinner. One day, Benny was very hungry. He went to look for his favorite carrot. It was a big, juicy carrot. Benny couldn't find it. "Where is my carrot?" asked Benny. He looked under his bed. He looked behind the curtain. The carrot was gone. Benny was sad. He wanted his carrot back. "I will find my carrot," said Benny. He was a brave bunny. Benny packed a small knapsack. He put a carrot leaf inside. It was his lucky carrot leaf. Benny left his burrow to find his carrot. Benny hopped into the forest. He saw a squirrel. The squirrel was sitting on a branch. He was eating nuts. "Hello," said Benny. "My name is Benny. Have you seen my carrot?" "What does it look like?" asked the squirrel. His name was Sammy. Section 5, The High Hill. This is a tale of adventure, courage, and determination. Our story begins with Benny the bear, who had a special carrot that he cherished more than anything else in the world. "It is big and juicy," said Benny, his eyes sparkling with excitement. He had never seen a carrot so perfect, and he couldn't wait to show it to his friends. "It is the best carrot ever." Sammy shook his head, puzzled. He had seen many carrots in his life, but none that made Benny this excited. "Are you sure it's the best?" he asked, scratching his head. "I haven't seen your carrot, Benny," he said. Benny looked confused. How could Sammy not have seen it? He had shown it to everyone in the forest. "Maybe someone else has seen it," Sammy suggested. "But maybe Fiona the fox has," Sammy continued. Fiona was known for her sharp eyes and keen sense of smell. If anyone could find the carrot, it would be her. "She lives on top of that hill." Sammy pointed towards the high hill in the distance. Benny's heart sank a little. The hill was very high, and he had never climbed it before. The hill was very high. Benny was scared. He had heard stories about the hill, how it was steep and treacherous. But he knew he had to find his carrot. But he had to find his carrot. Benny took a deep breath and looked at the map Sammy had given him. It showed a path leading up the hill, winding through the trees and rocks. "Thank you, Sammy," said Benny. He waved goodbye to his friend, feeling a mix of fear and determination. He knew this journey would be tough, but he was ready to face it. He began to climb the hill. The path was steep and rocky, but Benny took it one step at a time. He thought about his carrot, how much it meant to him, and that gave him the strength to keep going. At one point, Benny slipped on a loose rock. His heart raced as he caught himself just in time. He took a moment to catch his breath and looked up at the hill. It seemed even taller now, but he couldn't give up. As he climbed higher, Benny met a friendly bird. "Are you looking for something?" the bird asked. Benny nodded and explained about his carrot. The bird chirped happily and pointed with its wing. "Keep going. You're on the right path." Benny thanked the bird and continued his climb. After what felt like hours, he reached a plateau where he could rest. He sat down, panting, and looked around. The view was breathtaking, but he knew he still had a long way to go. As he rested, Benny noticed something sticking out of the ground. It was a small green carrot top. His heart leaped with joy. He dug around it, hoping it was his carrot. But it was just a small wild carrot. Still, it gave him hope. With renewed energy, Benny got up and started climbing again. The path became steeper and more challenging, but he didn't let that stop him. He thought about Fiona the fox and how she might have seen his carrot. Finally, after a long and arduous climb, Benny reached the top of the hill. There, waiting for him, was Fiona the fox. She smiled warmly at him. "I've been expecting you," she said. Fiona held out Benny's carrot. "I found this near my den," she explained. Benny's eyes filled with tears of joy. He thanked Fiona profusely and hugged his precious carrot. As they walked down the hill together, Fiona told Benny stories about the hill and the adventures she had. Benny listened intently, grateful for his new friend and the return of his beloved carrot. When Benny finally returned home, he showed the carrot to Sammy. "You were right," he said. "It is the best carrot ever." Sammy smiled and nodded, happy to see his friend so joyful. The forest animals gathered to celebrate Benny's return and the recovery of his carrot. They danced and sang, and Benny felt a deep sense of happiness and accomplishment. He had faced his fears and succeeded. Benny looked back at the high hill now with a smile. It no longer seemed so daunting. He knew that with determination and the help of friends, he could overcome any challenge. And so, Benny's adventure came to an end, but the lessons he learned would stay with him forever. The end. Section 6. Fiona the Fox. Benny climbed and climbed. He used his strong legs. Finally, he reached the top. He saw a fox. She was sleeping. "Excuse me," said Benny. He was afraid to wake the fox, but he had to ask about his carrot. The fox opened one eye. "What is it?" She yawned. Section 7. The Dark Forest. "Hello," said Benny. "My name is Benny." Benny was a small, adventurous bunny with a big heart and an even bigger curiosity. He loved exploring new places and meeting new friends. Today he found himself in a part of the forest he had never ventured into before. It was known as the Dark Forest, a place filled with mystery and wonder. "Have you seen my carrot?" Benny asked as he hopped around, looking under bushes and behind trees. His favorite carrot, the one he had been saving for a special occasion, had gone missing. Benny was determined to find it no matter what. "A carrot?" said Fiona the fox. "I love carrots." Fiona was a clever and friendly fox who lived nearby. She had a reputation for being helpful and kind to all the forest creatures. "But I haven't seen yours." Fiona shrugged, her bushy tail swishing behind her. She looked genuinely puzzled, and Benny could see that she was telling the truth. "Maybe Rocky the rabbit has it," Fiona suggested. Rocky was another rabbit who lived deeper in the forest. He was known for his love of collecting things, especially carrots. "He lives in the forest." Benny nodded, thinking about Rocky's cozy little home nestled among the trees. It was a bit of a journey, but Benny was ready for the adventure. The forest was dark and scary. The trees were tall and twisted, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. Shadows danced on the forest floor, and strange noises echoed through the air. But Benny was not afraid. He knew that sometimes the scariest places held the most amazing treasures. But Benny had to find his carrot. With a determined look on his face, Benny set off deeper into the forest. He hopped over fallen logs and ducked under low-hanging branches, his eyes scanning the ground for any sign of his missing carrot. "Thank you, Fiona," said Benny. He appreciated her help and her kindness. It was always nice to know that he had friends he could count on. He hopped into the forest. Benny's heart was filled with hope and determination. He knew that no matter how dark or scary the forest might seem, he would find his carrot. And who knows, maybe he would make some new friends along the way. The adventure was just beginning. Section 8. Rocky the Rabbit. Benny hopped and hopped. He used his big ears to listen. He heard a crunching sound. He followed the sound. He saw a rabbit. The rabbit was eating a carrot. "Hello," said Benny. "My name is Benny. Have you seen my carrot?" The rabbit looked up. "This carrot?" he asked. "It was just lying here." Section 9. Finding the carrot. Benny looked at the carrot. It was big and juicy. It was his carrot. "That's my carrot," cried Benny. He was so happy. "Oh, I'm sorry," said Rocky the rabbit. "I didn't know it was yours." "That's okay," said Benny. He was just happy to have his carrot back. Section 10. Back to the burrow. Benny the bunny had been on quite an adventure. He had ventured far from his cozy home, meeting new friends and learning valuable lessons along the way. Now it was time for him to return to his burrow, where he felt safe and loved. Benny said goodbye to Rocky, his new friend who had shown him the best hiding spots in the forest. Rocky was a wise old raccoon who had lived in the forest for many years. He had taught Benny how to find food and stay safe from predators. Benny was grateful for Rocky's guidance and promised to visit him again soon. He hopped back through the forest, feeling the cool breeze ruffle his fur. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. Benny felt a sense of peace as he made his way through the familiar paths. He remembered the fun times he had with his friends and the new experiences he had gained. He climbed down the hill, carefully navigating the steep slope. The hill was covered in soft grass and wildflowers, making it a beautiful sight. Benny took a moment to enjoy the view from the top before continuing his journey. He felt a sense of accomplishment as he descended the hill. Goodbye to Fiona and Sammy, two squirrels who had become his close friends. Fiona and Sammy had helped Benny find his way when he was lost and had shared their food with him when he was hungry. Benny was thankful for their kindness and promised to keep in touch. He went back to his burrow, feeling a sense of relief as he entered the familiar space. The burrow was warm and cozy, filled with soft bedding and the scent of fresh hay. Benny felt at home as he settled into his favorite spot. Benny was tired but happy. His adventure had been exciting and full of new experiences, but he was glad to be back in his safe and comfortable burrow. He stretched out on his soft bed, feeling the warmth of the burrow surround him. He had his carrot back, the one he had lost at the beginning of his journey. The carrot was a special treat that Benny had been looking forward to. He nibbled on it happily, savoring the sweet taste. It was a reminder of his adventure and the friends he had made along the way. He learned that it's okay to ask for help. Throughout his journey, Benny had realized that he didn't have to do everything on his own. His friends had been there to support him and guide him, and he was grateful for their help. Benny knew that he could always count on his friends when he needed them. He also learned that it's important to be brave. Benny had faced many challenges during his adventure, but he had overcome them with courage and determination. He knew that being brave didn't mean not being afraid, but rather facing his fears and pushing through them. Benny felt proud of himself for being brave and knew that he could handle whatever challenges came his way in the future. Section 11. Benny's Lesson. Benny ate his carrot. It was the best carrot ever. He knew he would never forget his adventure. He learned that being brave helps you make new friends. He also learned that friends help each other. Friends are important. Benny was a very lucky bunny.